I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. Today I'm back in the kitchen because I've discovered that I'm nearly out of my fermented carrots and ginger. It's an ingredient that I add to a lot of my meals. Being fermented means that its nutrients are made more bioavailable, and it's got lots of good bacteria in it which supports your digestive system, supports immune function and just improves your general well-being. So this morning I headed out to the garden to harvest some carrots. There's lots of carrots here which will be perfect in my fermented carrot and ginger recipe, so I'll just grab some. Okay, so I've got my nice harvest of carrots. I just need to give it a wash now and we'll head off to the kitchen. So I've got my harvest of carrots from the garden. For this recipe you need about 4 cups of shredded carrot. You also will be needing a tablespoon of shredded ginger, 1/4 cup of a starter solution. I'm just using this brine from this mixed jar of veg that I've previously done, and a tablespoon of salt. Alternatively, if you don't have a brine from some previous veggie ferments, you could use sauerkraut brine, for example. You would just increase your salt to 2 tablespoons of salt. Okay, so now that we've assembled all our ingredients, our 4 cups of shredded carrot, our tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of shredded ginger, and our 1/4 cup of starter liquid, we just put it in the bowl and stir it all up. Okay, so you just mix that around. Now what you're going to have to do, it's a bit like making a sauerkraut. You've got to keep pounding these carrots so that the salt breaks down the cells and they release their juice. Carrots are very juicy, especially the homegrown variety. So they will release plenty of juices to create the brine that you need for the ferment. All right, I'm just going to keep mashing it down with this. It's going to take about 10 minutes. Once you've finished pounding up your carrots, you can pop them into a clean jar. This one's about 600 ml size, or 1.5 pints, and it should all go in there nicely. Just push it down as you go. Make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So we've just got to ensure that the carrot is fully submerged in the jar while it ferments. Any carrot that's sort of above the liquid does risk going mouldy, so you can put some sort of weight on top or hold it down with lots of extra veg like cabbage leaves or whatever, or you can do a jar method. You can just put a clean jar that fits into the mouth of your jar and just pop it up. You might have to remove some of the carrots so that you can get your lid on, but I might be okay here. And that jar will hold the carrot down in the liquid while it ferments. Now I'm going to leave that out at room temperature for 3 or 4 days while it ferments. And I'm going to just burp it each day, which means just taking the lid off and releasing any of the excess gases. I'll be just sitting it on my kitchen bench out of direct sunlight, and I'm going to give it a taste in 3 or 4 days. Okay, so we're back again to see how the carrot and ginger is going. It's been fermenting for a few days now. So I'm going to open it up and see what it's like. Smells great. Okay, so we'll just take out the weight that we've had holding the carrots down. And give it a bit of a stir. The fermentation's certainly taken place. You can taste that, and it's also kind of a fizzy mouthfeel. So I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is now just put the lid back on and move it to the refrigerator. The refrigerator will slow fermentation down. Now, fermented veg are good for up to 18 months, but the taste and texture does continue to change over that period. Now, just by tasting it, if it tastes good to you and the texture's okay, then generally the veg is fine. I keep it in the refrigerator and use it as an ingredient for lots of different recipes. I like to add it to salads and as an ingredient in coleslaws. If your product's quite salty, adding it to something else rather than having it on its own is a good idea. So it's great in plain rice. I do add it right at the end in fried rice and in stir fries also. It's important if you're adding it to your hot foods, don't add it during the cooking process, but right at the end just before you eat it to try and maintain the level of the good bacteria for that little bit longer. Okay, so I'm just going to put the lid back on and store that in the refrigerator. Why don't you give fermented carrots and ginger a try? It really is delicious. And if you do give it a try, please let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thanks for joining me, and bye for now.